Hi, it's time to look at Tony Wroten Jr. This is, to me, one of the most intriguing, interesting prospects I've ever looked at. I'm fascinated to see his NBA career. 6'6", 203. I mean, he's huge. 19 years old, and then you look at the shooting percentage numbers. He can't shoot. 16% from three. Free throw percentage is terrible. He actually missed 2 in the Pac-12 tournament, or 4 that knocked Washington out. 3.8 turnovers a game. But let's just watch him. Here he is with the ball to the rim. He misses a bunch of short shots here early against Duke at Madison Square Garden. That one's in the second half, actually loses control of the ball. And some of this, you wonder whether there's some nervousness to being at Madison Square. But look at him go to the rim relentlessly, the athleticism at 6'6". Now, the worry is, as he comes here left hand, hesitates to the rim, gets it blocked. He doesn't always finish on the rim, and when the bad shooting percentage and the bad free throw percentage, that certainly concerns me. As you see there, another inability to finish. But will he get stronger? Will he learn how? Because the skills are there. Look at that explosion on that one, just off one step. And he begins to get a rhythm in this game against Duke. With 3:37 left here, he just overpowers his defender, switches to the left hand. He is naturally left-handed, and puts that in. Here he's got Austin Rivers, and he's just going to bogart him. I mean, just dominate him to the basket and draw the foul. He is a one-on-one player who's trying to learn how to be a point guard. Here he goes around Plumlee, and look at that finish. You just do not find that. You don't learn that. That is just a skill he has, exploding to the basket here against Arizona. He goes off 2 feet most of the time, so he's not going to go up and just pack it all the time. Pausing here, then boom, with the left hand into the lane, finishing at the rim. So strong, so big. Tyreke Evans body-like, athleticism of Russell Westbrook, and no touch. Look at that, no touch. But that pogo stick back up, there aren't many players in the NBA that do that. Here he explodes to the baseline, again, unable to finish. Just a little out of control. Can this be corralled? Gets his own rebound, then draws the foul here. The athletic ability, just working off to the wing, and just too much pounding, obviously, penetration into the lane, and then somehow finishes. There's so much to not like, the pounding of the ball, some of that. Let's look at him in the open court where he's just so big and so strong. Here he is against Duke, and there's nothing you're going to do. He's going to get to the line every time. If you're in an open court game with this guy, there it is again, drawing the foul. And then against Arizona, I loved this one. He just brings it up, head up, looking to see, little burst, by, and just so strong, so big. And obviously in the collegiate game, but his numbers, he's going to be big enough in the NBA as well. Around the rim, he really has struggled. And we'll watch a few things here. This is a nice finish, avoiding getting blocked, and the strength to be able to come up the backside. And the worry is just whether he's got hands of stone. I mean, that miss right there is something he should finish. He's got to be able to make those shots. If he can learn how to finish, here he is. He can post up, gets his shot blocked on that one, and this next one he's going to throw oh no, he drew a foul there. This next one he's going to throw a poor pass out of it. But he's got a little back to the basket game. There's just so much to work with here at 19 years old. Is he willing to work? Is he a guy that's going to be able to do that? Pick and roll game against Arizona particularly was not great. And you'll see this is what has some scouts worried. He's going to get the pick, comes around, nothing out of it. Now one-on-one game. So what was the point of that? Just to get the mismatch and go one-on-one. There's got to be more helping of teammates. Again, you see it here. This incredible athleticism. After he misses a shot, pogo sticks back up, but he doesn't finish. Here he comes off a pick, can't turn the corner, comes back, drives into a little traffic, poor pass, doesn't set anyone up. Those are the concerns a little bit about him. Now, defensively, I'd heard bad things, and you'll see why, but you also will see some signs here where he's actually pretty good. Here he's working on the point guard at Duke, fights through, stays with it, cuts him off, good lateral movement. Actually, that might have been Austin Rivers. It was, and completely stymies him. Here, he leaves Rivers with a little bit too much space on the zone. I'm not entirely sure that was his fault, and Rivers busts the shot. Here again, on Rivers, he peeks left, and he gets beat. And you'll see this a bunch of times where he peeks or just does things that aren't fundamentally sound. He gets exposed, but there's the athleticism, just the burst, the control, and the finish. Here, cuts off Rivers, force him back the other way. Not a lot of defenders that can do that, and really very few that can get back the other way. So that shows you the ability. Fights through picks well. He plays hard. I like that about him. But then allows that gap and reaches around. And you'll see here on this next one, I think it is, watch, he's got the pick, and he peeks. Oh, he's gone. And that's his little problem. He's anticipating or peeking. He's going to get beat on a backdoor on this one. Here it comes. He just got caught being lazy for a second, peeking on it, and gets exposed. And that's where he's got the reputation as a bad defensive player. He's obviously a wild card. People think his game is loose. They wonder about his maturity. There's some questions about his coachability. But here's a good example. He ran down the floor. He's on the bottom left, and then he lets great hustle. He's always hustling. Here we saw this earlier, shot block. Now watch him. He's in there at the paint. Here he's going to go. He's going to make it all the way back and be a part of this play. No lagging. He plays every play very hard, which I really like about him. But then there's things like this. Just bring up, and why would you possibly try to throw that pass? Luckily, they got it back, but there's just no reason. All 5 guys were set. Here on an inbound, it wasn't a very well executed play by Washington, but you still just have to wonder a little bit, like 5-second call. Come on. And these are the reasons why this amount of talent is not going in the top 10. Pick and roll, tries to split it, loses the ball. Just a little loose, a little out of control. Wondering whether it can be corralled. This has to be a question. Here's his jump shot. It's not pretty at all. And he was really poor. But I thought we'd finish. That was Terrence Ross. And I thought we'd finish with this one. It's a nice little highlight here as Ross goes on the back cut. Beautiful alley-oop. And I didn't get much of his passing, but everything I've heard about him is he's a very good passer. That's Tony Wroten, and that is the most intriguing draft prospect I've seen. You can decide for yourself.